What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Aranda here, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I'll be going over all the watches, warnings, and advisories taking place across the United States. And as you guys see, it's lit up like a Christmas tree all across the United States, from red flag warnings to heat advisories to coastal flood advisories to flood watches, tornado watches, and more. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So we can go ahead and start off with the deep south, particularly near Texas through Louisiana, because there is a tropical storm warning in effect for this area right here because of Tropical Storm Arthur, the first named storm for the Gulf and Atlantic hurricane season. So we can go ahead and move down and start off with Texas, where this originally was, if I'm not mistaken, formed at. And yes, we do have tropical storm warnings in effect for parts of southeastern Texas, and with a flood warning, a coastal flood warning, an extreme heat warning, heat advisory, coastal flood advisory, small craft advisory, wind advisory, and a flood watch again. So we do have wind advisories, basically tropical storm warnings actually has been issued for Texas, even going into Louisiana. Louisiana is currently dealing with the same exact thing, tropical storm warnings for the southern part. Now we do have wind advisories being stretched all the way up into central Louisiana. Now that might get stretched even into Mississippi potentially, because Mississippi is currently dealing with a special marine warning, a tropical storm warning. Yeah, it's not in effect for Mississippi just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But I think by the time it gets mainly overland, then it will be a tropical depression. But they are currently facing a flood warning in some areas, a coastal flood advisory, high surf advisory, small craft advisory, wind advisory, a rip current statement, flood watch, and special weather statement been issued from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Jackson, Mississippi. So we got those areas right there. And yesterday, the flood watches was not extended all the way into Alabama. It was mainly Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Now it's been extended all the way into Alabama and central Georgia. Will that continue up into the Carolinas? We'll not know. Even the peninsula of Florida is also seeing flood watches as well. Is that tropical storm warning in effect for those areas too? I'm trying to see. Let me go ahead and zoom in that area if it will let me. Let's see, around Tallahassee. Nope, they're not under tropical storm warnings. Okay, but they do have severe thunderstorm warnings issued just north of them into Georgia. A flood warning, high surf advisory, small craft advisory, rip current statement, a flood watch, and a special weather statement have been issued for parts of Florida as well. Even going into North Carolina, are currently dealing with I did not mean to do that. They are currently dealing with a hazardous weather outlook. Well, I live in North Carolina, but we are currently dealing with a hazardous weather outlook and a special weather statement issued for the inland counties, even down here into the southeastern or the coastal part of North Carolina. So we can go ahead and move into Missouri. Missouri is currently dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning, a severe weather statement, a flood watch, a tornado watch, a severe thunderstorm watch, lake wind advisory, flood watch, hazardous weather outlook. It's been issued for Missouri. So we even go into, yeah, I think that's still Missouri right there, isn't it? Yes, so yeah, that's still Missouri. I'm really trying to get in this area. Okay, Illinois. Illinois is currently dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning, severe weather statement, flood warning, tornado watch, gale warning, flood advisory, small craft advisory, wind advisory, beach hazard statement, flood watch, hazardous weather outlook been issued for Illinois as well. We can go ahead and move a little bit further east into Indiana, currently dealing with a flood warning, tornado watch, wind advisory, flood watch, special weather statement, and a hazardous weather outlook been issued for those areas as well. We can go ahead and go a little bit further north into, is this Michigan? I think this might be Michigan, if this will let me click it. Yeah, it's being a little slow right now. Yeah, into Michigan. Michigan is currently dealing with a gale warning, a small craft advisory, a wind advisory, beach hazard statement, flood watch, and a hazardous weather outlook been issued for Michigan. Going all the way into, I think this is Kansas. I want to say this is Kansas right here. Yeah, it's the National Weather Service is basically sticking constantly. I don't know why. Let me pause it and try to refresh and see if that works. So I think it might work now. Let's go and yes, there we go. So they are currently dealing with this is Nebraska, by the way. This is they currently dealing with a red flag warning, a wind advisory, and a hazardous weather outlook been issued for Nebraska. We can go ahead and go into South Dakota now, and they currently dealing with a wind advisory, Red flag warning and a hazardous weather outlook also been issued for Nebraska, even into southwestern North Dakota. They are currently dealing with a wind advisory as well. Going into Montana, about the same thing, currently dealing with a red flag warning, a short-term forecast. Okay, yeah, I don't know why they got that right there. Never seen that before. And a lake wind advisory been issued as well for Montana. Going into Idaho, they're currently dealing with a red flag warning for the southeastern part of the state. A lake wind advisory, and a short-term forecast been issued for Idaho as well. Even going into Colorado, I want to say this is Colorado. No, this is Wyoming. Wyoming is currently dealing with a high wind advisory, red flag warning, and a wind advisory. The high wind warning, actually. So going into, let's see, this is Colorado. Okay, yeah, this is Colorado. High wind warning, red flag warning, heat advisory, and a hazardous weather outlook been issued for Colorado. There is a lot of alerts today. Going into Utah, the same thing. Red flag warnings, lake wind advisory, and a fire weather watch been issued for Utah. Going into Nevada, Nevada is currently dealing with a red flag warning, heat advisory, coastal flood advisory, speech hazard statement, and a fire weather watch been issued for Nevada. And even going in California, the same thing. They're dealing with a red flag warning, lake wind advisory, and a beach hazard statement. Going into Oregon, they're dealing with a red flag warning and a fire weather watch, even getting stretched into Washington State. New Mexico is dealing with a extreme heat warning, red flag warning, heat advisory, and a hazardous weather outlook. And even on the East Coast, we have some wind advisories being taking place all the way up into the Northeast, including, this is for New York, they're dealing with a lakeshore flood warning, wind advisory, small craft advisory, wind advisory, special weather statement, and hazardous weather outlook been issued for New York. Even parts of the Northeast is still dealing with a wind advisory. So for the most part, we have a lot of alerts, mainly out towards the west. We do have a lot of red flag warnings, heat advisories being stretched towards the south central part of the state. We might see those pop up across the Carolinas, as some areas starting tomorrow going to feel like 105 degrees across the Carolinas, and I think even into Virginia. But the main focus, we do have tropical storm warnings still ongoing for Texas, Louisiana, and I would not be surprised if they stretch that to the southern part of Mississippi. But for the most part, Mississippi is dealing with a flood warning because multiple counties in Mississippi back through Louisiana and Texas are already flooding, and we have flood watches extended all the way north of Jackson. So, and those also was extended even further eastward through Alabama and Georgia. But again, tropical storm warnings is still in effect for Texas, Louisiana, and might get extended to the southern part of Mississippi depending on the track. But when they have the cone, it looks like by the time it hit Mississippi, it's going to be a depression with 30 miles per hour winds. But regardless, it's still possible that that can remain strength and be at tropical storm status. But again, we have tropical storm warnings in effect for Louisiana and Texas. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. I will keep you guys posted on Tropical Storm Arthur. Again, that's the first named storm for the Gulf and Atlantic hurricane season. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one of his guys. Well, stay safe out there. It's your boy, Aronde.